So I'm going to go catch Marley now. I'm going to use what I explained earlier with catching Roxy. I'm going to walk to her shoulder. And so I'm standing here and I'm going to put the rope over her neck. And then I'm going to ease the halter over her nose. This little thingy, I'm just going to put this on and attach it. So when we're walking, like I said, you're going to want to walk with her, not in front of her or too far behind her, because if she decides to run away, then you're kind of out of luck. We're walking with the lead rope folded, not wrapped around your hand. And Marley's walking pretty nice today. So with grooming, you're going to want to make sure that you have the essentials. So we have a brush for brushing their mane and tail, a hoof pick, a soft brush, a hard brush, and this is just another hard brush, but it's just a bit bigger for covering their body. Oh, I forgot. And a curry comb. So that's all our stuff we have here. Lift your feet, and now I'm just going to check to see if I left anything behind. So when you're picking up a horse's foot, you're going to lean into their shoulder and bring your hand down to their hoof, and they should just lift up their foot like that. So she doesn't have much in here, but when you're picking, you're going to want to hold your pick like this and probably scrape away from you. Because when I was little, I was told that if you scraped up towards you and they picked it, if an accident happened, then you could get the pick in the face. So just scrape away from you and use the brush to flick out anything that's in there. And put the foot down gently. So moving on to grooming, we have our hard brush, our curry comb, and our soft finishing brush. I'm going to start it with the curry comb. It slips over your hand like this. And it's meant for the more meaty parts of their body, so not their legs or their face. So you start in a circular motion like this, and it just gets rid of any loose hair or dirt that is on their body. So around their bum, on their belly, and up their withers and their neck, and their shoulders. And there's the basics of curry combing. And this will just get rid of all the excess stuff that I just lifted with the curry comb. And Marley is a curly she's a curly Arab cross. So no matter how many times you brush her, her hair's still going to be curly. It's not going to lie flat or anything. So we're just going to stroke her with the hard brush. And this is good to use on her legs too, because it'll get rid of the bristles on her legs and all the dirt. And again, when you're brushing their legs, you want to make sure that they know that you're there. And back up on their belly and down their legs. And that's the basics of a hard brush. And this is the soft brush. This just makes their hair look smooth and just basically finishes off our grooming. You can use this brush on their face if you don't have a smaller soft brush, but just use little bits of it. So down the legs, again, across the belly, under the belly, on their neck, shoulders, and down her legs. And there's our grooming. Go. So this is the brushes that you'd use to brush their mane and their tail. This is detangler. You can use it basically on anything. It's kind of like show sheen. Yeah, so if you have that, you can use that, or you can just brush it carefully. The owner of Marley is trying to grow out her mane and her tail, so we're not going to brush it. But you would start by brushing gently, just like the bottoms up to the top. And on her tail, you would either use a tail comb or use this first. You would stand off to the side and just brush little pieces up from bottom to the top. And that's about it. So this is the Western saddle pad. So we're going to go ahead and put that on Marley. You basically start from your left side, or you could start on the right side if your horse is pretty well rounded, but usually you start on your left side. So we're going to put this on Marley, and we're going to put it up pretty high, a little bit past her withers, because when you put the saddle on, it'll pull the pad down a bit. And we're going to make sure that it's even on both sides, or fairly even. So this is her Western saddle. So we're going to put this up on Marley. We're going to do it up on her left side. It's pretty heavy, so you want to have a good grip on it. Put that all up on her. Move it back a bit. You want to make sure that the stirrups aren't caught underneath it. We're going to lift the pad underneath her withers so that there's a bit of space between there so it's not pinching her. Just lift it from this side as well. Okay. So we have our girth and our back strap. The back strap is basically going to hold the back of the saddle down when you're doing any riding. And this is going to get put up back to where it was because of the horse. Here we go. We're going to go ahead and do up her saddle. You put the stirrups over the horns so they're not in your way. So we do the girth first. Going to make sure that we do that slower. The saddle's a bit too forward. So you reach under, pull the cloth out, and ease it through like so. You can do two ways of buckling. You can use this after you have brought it through a couple times, or you can do the knot that some people do. So you loop it around. I do it about 3 times. And we're not going to pull it tight because that can irritate the horses first time. Okay, so we're almost done. We're going to pull this through here. I'm not going to make it too tight because we don't want to do it up too fast. So we're going to bring the cinch through the right side of the D-ring on the saddle. Going to pull that through. Make sure it's even so there's room on the left side to bring this piece up through here again. I'm going to wiggle that through here. And we're going to put this through the loop. And this is going to hold the girth tight enough so it won't slip and slide. And it'll keep this out of the way. So that's how we do that. And then we're going to do up her back strap. Just tight enough so it'll hold the back of the saddle down. It won't be too tight, just to about there. I'm going to tuck this slowly in there. And that's how you tack up a horse. Okay, so I have her bridle now. This is just her headstall with a snaffle bit, and because she has a snaffle bit, I'm going to be riding her with 2 hands, even though it's split reins. And so what you're going to do is you're going to take one piece of the cross ties off, and when you bridle, you don't just want to have your horse standing loose, so you can either put the halter around her neck or put the reins around her neck. You sneeze. So we're going to take this off, and we can put this part around her neck so she's not just standing there. Here. And when you have your reins in your hand, you're going to want to have your reins either around your arm like this, not on the ground because they can step on that. So you're going to bring your head down and have the reins, or the bridle, in one hand and your hand supporting the bit under her mouth, and she'll just put it right into her mouth. And that is putting a bridle on her face. So I've got her bridle on and her saddle on, and I've taken her to the ring, and I put my helmet on because you always wear a helmet when you ride. And so I'm just going to check if her girth is tight enough, because if it's not, then your saddle will slip off sideways when you're trying to ride. So you should be able to fit your 2 fingers under there, snug, and just to make sure it's not going to slip off. So I'm going to go ahead and get on, and you're going to put your reins over the horse's neck gently. You're not just going to fling them around. And you want to hold your reins while you get on. Not so tight that she's going to start backing up when you get on. You're going to want to hold your horn. Put your left foot in the stirrup. We're getting on the left side so you won't get on backwards. And over. So I'm going to start with a walk. What you want to do is you're going to put your heels down, so you're sitting in your heels. You're not pointing your toes forward like that. And you want nice, supple hands. You don't want to be pulling on their mouth because it's not too pleasant for them. I'm going to check that their withers aren't getting squished. And here we go. So we're going to give her a little squeeze, and she'll walk forward. Trotting, what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to sit up tall, find your balance in your hands, and if you either when you post your trot or you sit your trot, you're going to, well, posting, when their inside leg comes back, you're going to post yourself up. So I'll demonstrate sitting and posting. You're going to squeeze and give a little posting and sitting. In the clincher, you're going to squeeze and kick. You're just going to shoulder your hips along with the horse. And whoa. Good girl. So I'm going to go ahead and dismount now. A good way to dismount safely is to take both your feet out of the stirrups. You could lean forward and swing your leg over and just pop off like that. If you're a little too scared to jump off, you could always get someone to help you. So what I would do after riding is I would take her back to the barn, put her in the cross ties, and brush her, especially around where I had the saddle, where it's sweaty, or behind her ears and under her belly. And then I put her blanket on and I put her back. And of course picking her hoofs too.